There you go. All right, let's jump into Sudden Substitution. This is a segment where we look at expensive Commander super staples and come up with some budget options to replace them. So this week we are looking at one of the most powerful green cards ever printed, banned in Legacy. It's so good, as a matter of fact.
The Questing Beast is our... No, just kidding.
Survival.
There's a lot of powerful green cards in the past couple years.
Questing Beast, or is it just Questing Beast?
It's just Questing Beast, which is why so many people don't know it's legendary. Anyway.
That's right. Anyways, this week we are talking about Survival of the Fittest. This card has recently just gone absolutely bonkers. It's now apparently $100 if you want a copy of this rare from Exodus. One in a green enchantment.
You want the Judge foil.
That's right. Pay green. Choose and discard a creature card from your hand. Search your library for creature card. Put it into your hand. Shuffle your library afterwards. You can do this ability anytime you want. There is a $600 Judge promo or something silly. Whatever, $500 Judge promo. You have that option as well. But we want to give you some cheaper options. So, Jason, why don't you go ahead and start it off? What is a good budget replacement for someone who wants a Survival of the Fittest effect in Commander?
Now, for EDH, you're not necessarily going to be wanting to activate this like repeatedly. I realized like getting a chain going is good, you know. And to replace this, you kind of need like a 2-card combo, something like Vanifar with Intruder Alarm. But I kind of think for Commander, if you're feeling toolboxy and you're not just trying to like get a chain going or just keep dumping Vengevine or something like that, something like Birthing Pod is completely acceptable. And this is a card that was a lot of money when it was, you know, not banned in Modern. It's come down quite a bit since, but it's still got really strong EDH play metrics. This is a card that you basically turn something into something else, and it's an upgrade. You're always upgrading. So if you have like a toolboxy type deck, you turn your Acidic Slime into your 6-drop.
Sun Titan.
Yeah. Could be
into
a Sun
your Shieldred. I've done this once or twice.
Yeah. You know. Or you turn your Eternal Witness into something else, and then, you know.
Now, Pod is an interesting one, because Pod is actually, sometimes we do really cheap ones on here, but some of the cards we're going to talk about today are actually not incredibly cheap. Pod is
not
something
$100.
Like $13, $14, but yeah, not $100. And we recognize that everyone has different budgets. So, you know, maybe a $14 card is still out of your price range. And if so, sorry, but hey, I mean, there's only so many ways you can replace broken cards, like Survival of the Fittest. Birthing Pod is certainly one of them. DJ, what do you got?
I have the creature shifted version of Survival of the Fittest. You probably already knew this one existed, just because if you Googled Survival of the Fittest, this might have actually come up, but it's Fauna Shaman. And Fauna Shaman is another example of a card that has recently been cut off of the supply chain, I like to say, just because this card's so popular. Ultimate Masters managed to strangle its price down to $5, but recently it's just gone a little crazy, but $10 is still cheaper than $100. Yes. Fauna Shaman is just the cheaper version. You can pay a green, tap it, discard a creature, search your library. You can do this multiple times a turn just because Commander has crazy ways to untap your stuff. Yeah, RIP Paradox Engine.
It's interesting because up until very recently, this was a $5 card. Yes. Until basically 2 months ago. So 3 months ago, you know, when we talk about the pandemic and the lack of being able to buy cards, this is a perfect example. Like DJ mentioned earlier, this card is more than doubled in price in 3 months. No real reason.
It's
in historic.
There is a real reason, and the reason
there's not a reason that people are used to looking at for Magic cards, right? Generally, when a card doubles in price, you start to look at what deck played this or where it got broken or anything like this. And no, that's not the case. In fact, as far as I can tell, the last time Fauna Shaman was really good in constructed Magic was 2012 Standard, when I played it with Vengevines.
I mean, the reason this card is expensive is because I'm sold out, and it's incredibly hard for me to buy them. Online buy list only do so much. There's a lot of physical buying.
This is just going to be more and more like this. So mine's along the same lines. Fiend Artisan. This is a really recent one. It's a Mythic from Ikoria, but it's actually gone up since it came out. It was $9 or $10. It's now about $14, $15. But it's a green-black hybrid, 2 of those, 1/1. It gets +1 for each creature card in your graveyard. X and a hybrid, tap it. Second other creature, so kind of a Birthing Pod cost there, except I guess the instead of Phyrexian mana, it's a hybrid mana. Sack a creature, search your library for converted mana cost creature X or less, put it into play. So Same thing, same kind of effect, very powerful. Puts it directly into play though, like Birthing Pod, unlike Survival of the Fittest. So it also beats down, which is something these other cards don't do. Fauna Shaman, Birthing Pod, those are simply engines. Fiend Artisan is both engine and payoff, which is kind of neat. And yeah, I mean, $14, $15, all these $10 options are a lot better than $100 option. And frankly, if you want one of these cards, based on what we're talking about, you probably don't have a ton of time because everything is going up right now. And with no paper events for another 6 months, it's only going to get worse. Or better, I guess, depending on your point of view. If you're someone like me who's got a ton of cards they're trying to get listed to sell, well, it works out pretty well. But for everyone out there looking to buy cards over the next 6 months, I got to say, just brace yourself, because until the supply chain gets back up and running, there's going to be a lot of cards like Birthing Pod and Fauna Shaman get expensive.
And if you're rolling your eyes right now, be like, survival is like, it's an EDH staple. You can't replace it with a budget alternative. Partially because of the price, and partially because like this is mostly a C EDH card, and it's not that 100% necessary in paper EDH right now. Survival of the Fittest is currently in a third as many decks as Birthing Pod on EDH Rec. So
yeah, there you go.
Price
Pod's
is
great.
a factor there, but also like green's the
puts it
best
straight
color in
into play.
EDH, and like no one's exactly.
Yeah.
So like Birthing Pod is played a lot more despite being a $15 card. So
That's right.
it's something to think about there. Like instead of saying, oh, we can't play without these staples, like a lot of the times it's not even the best fit.